already lost back then, and that's why there was Jainism and then Buddhism and so many new dispensations, new forms of the Dharma that tried to return to the original Aryan understanding. Aryan means noble, right? So nobility comes from realizing you are the I am. Otherwise you cannot act nobly, because to be noble means to be fearless, right? As soon as you're identified with the body, you'll have fear. The body has fear of pain and of death. If you're identified with the body, you become a coward, right? That's Hamlet. Conscience hath made cowards of us all, right? So it gets even worse as the more you become in a culture that it becomes denser, more materialistic, and materialized. This is all light, but it's frozen light, and the more you believe you are material, the more the light becomes materialized and resistant. And so the more obstacles there are to the transmission of the morphogenetic field qualities of the consciousness. So therefore, things get fossilized and petrified in very negative ways, and then those sanskaras get passed on from lifetime to lifetime. And once they harden into a very anti-love and anti-life modality, then it's very difficult to change them. And so then you get a huge negative energy field that wants destruction. And that's why at the end it is that power of the destructive force that becomes dominant, and it produces nuclear weapons and all the other things that we're dealing with. And that gives the message to Gaia to destroy it all. So we're in that. That's why the apocalypse becomes inevitable. But it is a blessing back into a new world in which the I am becomes again dominant and supersedes over the incoherence of the negative anti-life energies. So we're in that mode of transmission of the original intent of God, let's say, of the self. And that transition has to come in exactly the right intersecting modality, so that the death drive, the collective death drive of the people of the earth who want to get out of their misery and can't figure out any other way than just death, has to intersect with those who have realized the I am and live in eternal life and can pass through the eye of the needle, and at the moment of the destruction can dream a new dream. But you have to be at that level of the dreamer to have the power to do it. Otherwise it's a fantasy and it won't happen. It has to be realized. And if it's not realized by abiding consistently in that vibrational frequency, if there are any doubts, if there is any oscillation, then the siddhis, the powers that come with that level of consciousness, will not be able to remain activated. So it's, in a way, a fail-proof, fail-safe method that has been created, but it also means that you can't fake it. This has to be really attained by us. And because we're very close to the end point now, we're very close to the destruction happening at a manifest level of thermonuclear war, we have to raise our consciousness several notches above where it is. And that's why I say go directly to the I am. Don't go through any intermediary phases of development, or you won't make it. And they say only 8 make it totally at the end, who will actually be able to maintain that perfection of consciousness that doesn't fall any longer. And 108 are able to maintain it sufficiently to be able to manifest the transition without suffering, and to be able to bring the energy field into a Sat Yuga. But that's a very, very small number of beings. It doesn't require many, because those beings will have such power from the God consciousness that will have accumulated the power of energy through consistent meditation. But if you don't get that in advance, you won't get it at the moment when the bombs start falling. It's too late, okay? So I recommend very seriously that people start now practicing rigorously, never falling back into a lower state of consciousness. Unless you don't care whether you graduate from this school that the earth is. If you don't care and you're willing to go through another round, which is a long round of thousands of years of many, many incarnations, some fun, some not so fun, as you know, then I would consider seriously graduating, okay? But it's up to everyone. That's again, the individual choice you have to make. The Sangha doesn't make that choice for you. Or becoming a Christian doesn't really mean you're saved, okay? It doesn't matter what you believe. It matters the vibrational frequency you're resonating at. Nothing else matters but that. Does that answer your question?